Hey, welcome back to the Coffee with Creators podcast. My name is Balasabas. Really glad to have you here. I hope you are doing well. It is Monday, February 27th, 2023. I had to think about that for a second. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Glad that you're here. I want to jump right into it. There's a few things today that I wanted to share with you guys and kind of talk through and share some of my thoughts around some new things that have come up, some news around remote work, Vidcon, conference world. So if you guys are doing conferences, let me know. Really curious about which conferences you guys are going to. I'm hoping to go to quite a few this year. That's the plan anyway. Representing Uscreen on the road in different cities and at different conferences and stuff. So really excited for that. And then also some thoughts on reporting. I'll talk more about that in just a second. But there's actually a question from yesterday's episode. Today, by the way, is I think if I'm doing the math right, this episode is episode 82 of the podcast. So we're getting really close to 100. Technically in about a couple weeks, if we are consistent, 2-3 weeks or so, we should be at about 100 episodes. Maybe a month. We'll see. I'm recording more again, but not every single day. The math can, be off by a few days. But anyhow, yesterday there was I had created I had published a podcast where I talked about, some opinions, some thoughts on remote work. And I got a comment from Mr. Phil Johnston. So Phil, if you are watching, hey, thanks for the comment. Glad that you caught the episode. Phil was saying here, hey, Rob, thanks for the video. He didn't say, hey, Rob. Yeah, he just went right into it. Thanks for the video. So often you don't miss something until it's gone. One of the things I discovered was transition, in quotes, transition. The transition from work life to family life. The walk or bike home created a buffer where hopefully I could let go of the day's slings and arrows and prepare myself for family time. Now, my work and family are separated by 1.5 foot door, and I enter their world instantly. I might as well be teleporting mentally. I found it's become useful to set aside 5 to 10 minutes for a walk directly after work to help me be more present and available for my family. Man, that's such a great comment. I really appreciate that, Phil. This is actually something that I've talked about, not really like publicly, I guess, but I've definitely had this conversation with my wife, Justine, and she's awesome. I mean, she is such a great partner in life when it comes to work and career and everything, and so supportive of my work, especially work from home, helping me behind the scenes here, like with just from anything from like decorating my space and just laying out my space to actually being mentally prepared and just like putting me in a good place, having conversations, such a good, like speaking into my work life, such a really good partner. And I've told this to her before, the weird thing when I started working remotely was that there was no commute. I used to have a commute. I used to have a physical commute where I would travel from home and then go to the office, right? When the last time I had that was when I was working at Thinkific. And so I would go and I would hop on the train for about 45 minutes to an hour. And during that time, going to work, I would kind of like move into work phase, work mode. And I would listen to some podcasts, maybe check some emails on my phone and things like that. After work, the opposite was true. I could start listening to some non-work podcast and mentally sort of let go, like Phil was saying here, let go of the slings and arrows, of the day and prepare myself for family time. Start thinking about, hey, like, what am I doing when I get home, and start thinking, okay, are there activities, things like that. I want to be starting to be mentally present for my wife and for my kids, and starting to think through that role and that hat. Take off the work hat and put on my my dad, my husband, home hat. Right, be at home, and it's so true. It's so true. There is really, now that I'm working from home, there is really, I feel exactly what Phil is saying, that I'm teleporting. I'm just like kind of like open a door, walk through. I just like, there's this invisible sort of portal, and I just like from like office to like now home, and there is no transition period. There's no neutral ground where I can transition from one state mode to another state mode. And so I have found, going for a walk, something like that. I've actually sometimes tried to do a 2-for-1 here, Phil, where I might go to the gym. I might go to the gym right after work, and then, say around 4:30 or 5, be home by about 6, and then dinner time, and then help with dinner time, help set the table and stuff, and I'll be there for that. And so there's kind of 2-for-1. Sometimes back in the day when I was at the office, I would go to the gym. I would actually do exactly the same thing. I would work at the office. Downstairs there was a gym. I would go to the gym for a bit, and then hop on the train and kind of go home. And so this is sort of like a abbreviated version of that, but very similar, right? So it's really interesting. I love that the way that you are thinking it through, that 5 minutes walk, that kind of lets you clear your head and clear your mind, and then now you can be present for your family, which is going to be good for everybody. Good for your family. And so I love what you said there. I really like that. I really do appreciate this comment, Phil. So if you guys have any suggestions, if you're working from home, if you have any suggestions on how to sort of transition from, work mode to home mode, let me know. I like the idea of going for a walk, going to the gym, something like that, where it's away from the space. You could also stay in the space, like your home office, but like shut down everything. And, whether it is just kind of looking through, what are you doing this evening, things like that, maybe checking on some of your personal emails. Like, don't just shut everything down that's work related, and just kind of shut off, right? You may want to listen to a podcast, or maybe, read a book, right? Read a chapter of a book that you're reading that's not work related, right? Something that's personal development, something like that, right? You may want to do that, but it is, I think, really important to put some type of activity between that time where you're working and then the time when you're supposed to be at home, right? When you want to be present for your family, so that work is left, it's done, like it is finished for the day, and you feel good about it being finished for the day. So that's great. Again, Paul, thank you so much for the comment, guys. That's the comment right there. Sorry, I keep saying Paul. Phil Johnston, thank you so much again for the comment. Appreciate it. That's really great. That's really great. I'm actually checking out Phil's channel here. Phil, I'm checking out your channel, by the way. So if you want to watch this, it looks like he hasn't uploaded in about 3 years, Phil, but hey, that's all good. You were uploading some Adobe content here. You got a demo reel and stuff from a few years ago. Things could be completely different now. I'm not sure what you do now, but maybe you are still in the Adobe space, in the creative space. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. I love that. Thank you so much for that comment, Phil. Much appreciated. Awesome. Okay, so let's go into some other things that I saw really quick. Kind of want to cover a few of these and kind of speak into this. I saw this article on LinkedIn. It was written, it was Inc. magazine that had written this, but the title says 3 questions leaders must ask to instantly stop this new term that I learned. Ready for this? It's called rage applying. I've never heard this term. Apparently, this is the newest TikTok career trend that is called rage applying. And so according to AJ Eckstein on LinkedIn, he actually sort of wrote a commentary on this. This is basically rage applying means when Gen Z and younger millennials who feel mistreated and unfairly compensated are aggressively shotgunning their resumes to several companies with a hope to find a new job and pay increase quickly. So they're just mass applying, which is crazy. I mean, I guess that's not crazy. I wouldn't say it's crazy. That sounds like something, somebody that's upset. It's kind of like that quiet quitting, I guess. I guess this kind of falls into like the same category of actions that you would take. It's kind of like a reaction to being mistreated or, feeling like you're not compensated fairly. You just go and start, submitting your resumes to a bunch of different companies. The reason it caught my attention is that currently I'm looking to hire a community manager at Uscreen, and so I'm reading through resumes. I'm really trying to understand the job market right now, and all of these things are going through my head. And as a people leader, Inc. magazine shared 3 questions that leaders need to ask themselves to help prevent this from happening to their team members, to help prevent their team members from rage applying. First question is, am I making my employees feel heard? Right? Great question. Do you feel heard? If you're a people leader, if you're in a team, do you feel heard by your the person or the team or the leadership that you're reporting to, by your company? Right? Do you do that for the people that are reporting to you? Do you let them know that they are heard? Am I making my employees feel seen? Do you feel seen? Do you feel seen? Right? Do you let your team members know that they are seen? Right? Are you acknowledging them? Right? Are you listening to, their needs? Right? And then the third is, am I making my employees feel appreciated? When was the last time that you felt really appreciated for your work, right? When was the last time that you appreciated somebody else's work, right? Really important. I think those are really 3 great questions. Heard, seen, and appreciated. Those are some very basic things that I think everyone, who is working or in some type of relationship, right, with other human beings want to feel, right? They want to be heard, they want to be seen, and they want to be appreciated. They want to be recognized for the things that they're doing. They just want their work to be appreciated, to be recognized, to be seen, to be heard, right? And so really, really interesting new term. First, I was just like, hey, that's hilarious, right? Rage applying, like, I this whole rage thing, like I remember during the pandemic, my son was playing Fortnite and I heard this term called rage quitting. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this term, but like basically it's like, I guess when somebody's playing a video game and then they get killed or, playing Fortnite or something like that, and you get killed. And it's like, so you're so mad you just quit the game. It's like rage quitting. And so now there's this rage applying. Like, I'm so angry at my current job and current employer, I'm just going to start applying to a bunch of places, send my resumes, shotgunning it to different places. I just thought it was pretty funny, but it is a very serious thing. I really hope that, it's not happening to anybody that I know out there. I just want to kind of bring it up. I mean, there's a very valid lesson to be learned here. If you're a people leader, if you're running teams, make sure that your team members are not rage applying. All right. The next topic that I wanted to share with you guys is that I actually came across this post on, where's this post on? Variety.com, of course, where I get all of my news. No, I don't. Variety. And so they had posted something about, this creator, Carl Jacobs, that he's planning to record a live podcast and also host a meet and greet at Vidcon Anaheim 2023. And I was just really excited about this. VidCon, I haven't been to VidCon since before the pandemic. I remember it. I had such a great time. I've only been to VidCon once. And I want to say it was around 2017 or 2018. I was actually down there with my good buddy Patty McGill. Patty, if you're watching or listening to this, I know you remember VidCon. We did like karaoke. I think I was still at Thinkific at the time. And so we went down to VidCon, and we had just regular passes and stuff. We didn't have a booth or anything, but it was such a great time. I got to meet so many amazing creators and people in the industry. And then on the bottom floor, the ground floor, there was a bunch of activations. Like Nike was there, and Fortnite, like all of these amazing brands were there. Mattel, like WWE, some like Nerf, right? All of these cool brands were there, and just massive setups. And so it was just such a great time. Like if you are involved in the creator economy in any form or fashion, like you want to get down to VidCon. It's like the unofficial YouTube creator conference. So anyways, very excited about that because I haven't seen anything about VidCon this year so far. And this is the first time that I saw anything about VidCon, any coverage around it. So I was really pumped. And so it got me to really start thinking who is going to be attending VidCon? Are you going to be attending VidCon? Let me know in the comments. And if you are, what are you going to be doing at VidCon? Are you going to have a booth and stuff? Or are you going to be attending, is there events that you're going to be doing? Are you going to host your own events? A lot of the people that come down there, they tend to host their own, off-site meetup or dinner or, party. Like a lot of the brands and a lot of the big sponsors and stuff like that will be hosting their own events off-site. And so really curious what you guys will be doing down there. It's not as big as I would say South by Southwest from what I heard. I've never been to South by Southwest. I'm going to be going in a couple weeks. And so side note, if you are going to be at South by Southwest, another reminder, please let me know. Reach out to me. Let me know that you're going to be going down to South by Southwest. Would love to see you in Austin. Even if you're not going to South by Southwest. If you're just going to be in Austin, you're based out there, let me know. All right? But yeah, it's not as big as South by Southwest. But I think if you're in the creator economy, it's where you want to be. It's going to have all the players in the house, So anyways, really excited about that. I saw that from variety.com. Again, the source for all of my daily news. So that's where I got that. So another thing that I want to share with you guys today, another thought that I had, this was from last week. I was thinking about this, and I was actually talking to a colleague of mine, Jamie Chapman, about the way that you talk to team members. Whether do you talk to them in bullet points, or do you talk to them or communicate to them in paragraphs? And it was kind of really interesting the way that I started, you start thinking about these things and start to see a pattern. And you're probably right now, what are you talking about, Rob? Bullet points, paragraphs, what do you mean? Communication styles, right? It's really interesting when you start thinking about it. When you talk to, here's how I kind of broke it down with Jamie, is that when you're talking to people above or below you in the org chart, you tend to talk in bullet points. They don't really want the full deep dive download. They just want to what's the high level? Tell me the bullet points. Tell me the summary, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, okay? Let me know if you have a different way or a different experience. But when you talk to leadership, people above you, or people that are, below you in the org chart, they don't need to know every single detail. They just need to know sort of the high level. Give me the summary. I just want to know, high level, surface level, what is it? What is the idea? What's the thing? What are you trying to communicate with me? Whether it's a strategy or reports or things like that, right? When you are talking to people that are team members that are parallel to you, your peers, I guess, parallel to you. For me, I'm a middle manager, right? And so other managers or other heads of different teams tends to need more deeper dive, not just the bullet points, right? It's like, okay, here are the bullet points, but okay, cool. Like, let's zoom in though. Let's zoom in and tell me the finer points of each of these bullet points. Because A, it's interesting to me, and B, it probably has some overlap with what I am also doing. So let me know if that is true for you in your life, in your work life. Let me know. Okay, I'm really, really curious about that. This is a big topic right now in my mind. Something that I'm very focused on is communication as a leader, and leadership in general. I can't consume enough information, content around leadership. Of course, always got to be a practitioner, right? And I'm blessed with the opportunity to be able to be a people leader, in my day job, right? In my day job as head of partnership and community at Uscreen. But yeah, I just love consuming that type of content right now. There's so much content around it. I'm trying to be very intentional in who I listen to, and what I'm listening to, what I'm putting in my head around leadership. So yeah, there you have it. Those are some of the thoughts that I had today. Again, Monday, February 27. I'm looking up, if you're watching me on video here, I'm looking up at the clock on my screen. So Monday, February 27th. South by Southwest. Let me know if you're going to go to Vidcon. Let me know what other conferences you're going to be attending. And would love to hear your thoughts on leadership, communication styles, and also like this whole idea of rage applying, and also the transition from, if you're working remotely, transition from working in your home office to then leaving your home office and going into your family life, your house life, your home life. Okay. Let me know what transition, tricks or hacks you have. Best practices is probably a better term. And there you have it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me in this episode. We are getting close to 100 episodes. And make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, all the cool places. Really want to connect with you. Really just want to actually hear from you so that you don't just hear from me. And we are having, this back and forth connection. All right. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next episode. God bless you.